Everything we actually need to know to use trend lines profitably. I spent around 5,000 hours and $4,000 on 10 different trading courses, which didn't actually make me a profitable trader. Wasted time. What I'm actually about to talk about did. So the whole point of this video is to try to explain this methodology, which has actually resulted in tripling my account in 4 months. And I have an 84.3% win rate at the time of this recording with this, and I'll be using trend lines as a lens to sort of view this way of thinking about the markets. Explanations. Broker statements in description, test results in description. Subscribe. My live analysis in our Telegram channel, which you can join literally in 5 seconds for free. Transparency. I feel especially qualified to talk about trend lines because I did 2 specific courses related to it, and I have spent about 6 months full-time learning, observing, marking up, forward testing, back testing, and live trading full-time using nothing but trend lines. And on top of that, I'm going to debunk a few myths that I feel are absolutely crushing us, destroying us traders, in my humble opinion. It's way more important to know what will not work for us, because that will happen way more often, as most of the market is just noise. So much noise. But first, let me show you what we have unfortunately been taught probably wrong about trend lines. Subscribe. So here is a trend line. We are told many things about this, and literally all of the confluence, by the way, by mainstream trading gurus that are just trying to become popular because they flash a rented Ferrari and are selling you a course. The contents of which said course, I promise you, are already available online for free, or they have just clearly stolen the content from someone else. So it happens way more often than you think. So here is our first huge myth: the bounce. Step 1. Draw a trend line between 2 points. Wait for the price to go to the trend line at a 3rd point. Enter position. Expect a bounce. Enter with a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Buy a Ferrari 308. By the way, we'll only realize the following once we've actually spent a lot of time and frustration with this, so what I'm about to tell you will hopefully save you years of effort and lots of cash and many blown accounts. Okay, so hold on a second. Are you telling me that all I have to do is connect 2 points and wait for a 3rd touch, then enter hoping the trend will continue because the trend is my friend? Yes, says 100 people on the internet. Well then, why the fuck didn't you tell me this when I was 10 years old? I could have already done this in art class with a ruler and a crayon. If we spent a little more time with it, then you would get to the conclusion as well. Hold on. Which 2 points are the best to draw a trend line on so I can buy a Ferrari La Ferrari Aperta instead of just a shitty 308? So what if we draw on these 2 points? Or these 2 points? Or maybe these 2 points? Hang on, what actually qualifies as a point to draw any trend line on at all? Well, trading gurus say pick 2 specific points that are very significant, then draw the trend line from those. But let's actually try to replicate this without hindsight. No hindsight. Okay, so look at these 2. These two are significant, right? What about these? Nope. Okay, no worries, can't win them all. What about this one? Nope. What about this? Big nope. So then how do you know when to use this and when not to? I will tell you just in a second after showing you the second way trading gurus will tell you how to use trend lines. The trend line break. Step 1. Okay, so for the trend line break strategy, take 2 points, connect them and extend your line. Wait for the break, then enter with a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Step 2. Buy a Rolls Royce. If you want to buy a private jet, wait for the retest for additional confluence. But let's actually try this ourselves, shall we? So, look at this. This is a nice significant break. What about this? Well, nope. Okay, no worries, can't win them all. So what about the here? Okay, so no worries, can't win them all. What about this one? Nope. How about this? Big nope. Hang on a minute. Would this all be possible if the market makers actually see where the trend line is, as well as other participants in the market? Okay, so then how do we know when to use this trend line and when not to? I will tell you this in just a second after showing you the 3rd way trading gurus tell us how to use trend line. The fake out. Okay, let's get into the really complicated trendline fake out strategies. Sarcasm. Let's take the bounce strategy, identify point 1, then a second point, connect them and extend the line. Wait for the line to break, but only with a candle wick which will act as a drawn back slingshot, and price will shoot to the opposite direction. Okay, so let's try this without hindsight now. Okay, so these look good. What about this? Nope. Okay, no worries at all. Can't win them all. What about here? How about this? Big nope. Wait a minute, isn't this directly contradictory to the breakout strategy mentioned earlier? Wait, hang on a second. Could it be that Influencer John knows that selling a course is quite profitable? Could it be that people like Influencer John have charisma and have become so popular on YouTube so they can make serious cash by scamming people who believe that he is profitable? Yeah, probably. So therefore, could it be that the market is completely random and Influencer John is just making up random explanations about why price went one way or the other? And could it be if a trend line bounce happens and it works, he will tell you you should have followed the bounce strategy, but if it breaks, could it be that he will tell you to have waited for the break strategy and gone completely the opposite direction instead? Well, yeah, probably. But hang on, what if the trend line breaks, then continues back up like a bounce? He could just say, oh, well, that was a fake out. It wasn't significant. Okay, so if price breaks the trend line with a body close and price does not continue, then he could just say, oh, your initial 2 points were not significant enough. So do you see the paradoxical predicament this puts us in? Our logical question probably now is, how do you know for sure that price will go one direction versus another after a trend line interaction? Okay, the answer is what I've actually discovered after spending years trading full time. Doing 10 plus courses and spending 5,000 hours with it didn't help, but what I've discovered has. So the answer lies within a consistent practicing methodology, which I actually developed, which you will not find anywhere else, I promise you. It's so simple, very easy to follow, and therefore very easy to make a habit out of, which is exactly the answer. The habit of practicing in a very specific way. I've been sharing this in my free Telegram channel for a couple of months now. I'm sorry, but trading isn't as simple as destroying a trend line and then making it your full-time income. The uncomfortable truth about becoming a consistently profitable trader is consistent practice. Who would have thought it, right? To get consistent results, you need consistent action. Now, I discovered what that is specifically for me, and I wish I knew this about 10 years ago. It would have saved me many years of losing money and time, which is why I've created a free Telegram group around it to save us money and time. So I'm not going to tell you that we will know where the price is going to go every single time, only more often than not. That's how trading works. I'm sorry, it sucks. We have to lose money to make money. The best loser wins. So these are my backtesting results so far with it. Disclaimer, backtesting is not a real representation of what your performance will be live. So far the live results follow the test roughly. So far, I can't tell you what the future will bring, but this is what I've gotten so far. I can vouch that it worked for me this way, and you can check my broker statements and exact trades that I have taken since I started this channel. However, I will not promise that it will work for you. In fact, you will probably lose money even if you do everything that I say. I just simply show you what has worked for me, so proceed with caution. So if you've gotten this far in the video, congratulations, you are 1 out of 1,000, literally. Now watch it 2 more times to let it sink in. So I have to admit it, this is probably not for beginners or people with a big ego. This is very complicated, soul-destroying stuff. But I promise you that this is the actual brutal reality of the trading industry, which will get a serious, aspiring, profitable trader profitable as quickly as possible. So I hope this whole video helped. Until next time, happy trading.